$118 billion. That's how much travelers are expected to pay in baggage and other travel fees by the end of 2023. Flying is getting super expensive these days, so I know we're all stalking Google Flights so that we can strike when the prices are good. But have you ever snagged that great deal only to find that it's not the same price once it actually ends up in your cart? You can easily wind up paying hundreds of dollars more than you expect because those fees are for each person, for each leg of the flight, and even per bag you bring. That all adds up. And chances are that you don't even really need to bring that much gear along. When it comes to packing, a lot of travelers are just really inefficient in how they load everything into their bag. We know it's hard to figure out what you need and what can be left behind, but overpacking is costing you. Lucky for you, we can help. Just between Tom and I, we have years of one-bag travel experience, and that's not even counting the rest of the team here at Pack Hacker. Tom packed up his life into a 40-liter bag and traveled the world for 2 years as a digital nomad. And while I haven't taken quite that long of a trip, I've been getting everything into just one carry-on backpack since 2016. It was actually my cousin who got me into one-bag travel. She was ranting and raving about a trip she took to California, about how great it was to just have everything in one bag, and I wanted to try it. It didn't take me very long to figure out that you can fit pretty much everything you need in one bag. That's especially true when I make a plan before I leave. Packing lists are key to help me fit everything into one bag, and it gives me peace of mind that I'm not leaving anything behind. We've created lists to cover pretty much any type of travel you can do, whether it's long-term traveling as a digital nomad or if you're just going on vacation. And we also have a packing list tool on our site so you can tailor it to your next trip. But packing lists do so much more than remind you to grab your laptop. They can help you decide what to bring and what to leave behind depending on the trip you're taking. If you're going on vacation and staying in a hotel or Airbnb, you'll need different gear than for hostel hopping or a cruise. Writing everything down also forces you to take a really hard look at what you actually need, although it's not always perfect the first time around. The more you travel, the easier it's going to get to figure out what's essential, and I've definitely gotten a lot better at it over the years. I've cut my carry by about 10 liters, and besides being lighter on my back, bringing less reduces my pre-travel stress because it's much simpler to pack everything up. Pack Hacker Pro Peter says that people usually travel with so much that it just demands more of their attention, and I totally agree. I've gotten home from a trip and had a list of things I never even touched, and chances are you have too. If you take advantage of those lists that we mentioned earlier, you can make the necessary cuts before you even start to pack it all in. If you find that you don't actually use something when you're on your trip, just make a note of what it is and leave it home next time. And on top of being more comfortable, traveling with an efficiently packed bag that makes the most of the available space is a great way to save some extra cash. After all, it's hard to bring home extra large souvenirs if you don't even have room for them in your bag on the return trip. It's also nice to have everything within reach without worrying about the airline losing your checked luggage or trying to remember where you put your favorite tea or wondering if you just forgot it at home. Sure, going carry-on only means that you can't bring a huge bottle of shampoo or sunscreen because you have to abide by TSA's 311 limits for liquids, but unless you're going to be gone for weeks at a time, 3 ounces should be enough. Plus, you can always buy more if you run out on your trip. There's a good chance that there's going to be a drugstore nearby with whatever you need. I have a few brand-specific items that aren't necessarily widely available, so I just make sure that I bring a little container with those, and then everything else is relatively replaceable. The time you save overall when you're one-bag traveling is worth it too. Airlines try and guarantee that they'll get luggage off the plane quickly, but even so, you'll still beat everyone waiting for their suitcase to the line for the taxis and ride shares if you simply have to pull your backpack out of the overhead bin and then hit the road. Plus, you won't need to stop at the hotel to drop off your luggage because you can start exploring while still wearing your travel backpack. It makes it way more convenient. Say you land hours before you can check into your hotel. You'll be able to sightsee or get a bite to eat without lugging around a giant suitcase. I've taken trips with friends who end up annoyed right at the start of the trip because of how inconvenient it is to organize a bag drop. And some of them have even converted to one-bag travel after going on those trips with me because they see how easy it is with me with a backpack and they just don't want to have to deal with their luggage anymore. Plus, it's nice to not worry about broken wheels because you can carry a travel backpack by a single strap or even the top carry handle if you need to. We'll talk about how you can avoid losing your luggage next, but for now, let's talk about this video's sponsor, Incogni. It's a simple way to ensure you don't lose track of your data online. Whether for travel rewards or to snag a sale, nearly every website and service asks for your name, email, and phone number. Those companies can turn around and sell your information to data brokers who sell it again, and that's how you end up with scammy texts and emails. That's no fun to deal with whether you're at home or on a trip. Over the past few months, Incogni found my information on 141 sites and has been contacting data brokers on my behalf to request its removal. They keep working as long as you have the service, handling any objections, keeping you posted on their progress, and following up when brokers inevitably get a hold of your information again. You can get 60% off an annual plan when you use code PACKHACKER at the link in the description below when you sign up for Incogni. Then you can get back to packing your travel backpack instead of dealing with the headaches of hackers. And head to the deals page on our website to see offers from all of our sponsors. Never checking a bag eliminates the risk of lost luggage. The first time I ever flew in my life, they lost my suitcase. We had to wait for more than an hour at the airport since it turned out to be on a flight that was coming in next, so there was no point coming back for it later. So instead of getting a head start on exploring a fun new place, I got to watch the luggage carousel spin around and around and around. When you try one bag travel, there's also less of a risk of you losing important things like medication or expensive jewelry since it's always on your person. However, even if you are checking your bag, you should keep essentials like that in your carry-on or personal item. What's nice about traveling carry-on only is that because you only have one bag, it eliminates the chance of accidentally putting it in the wrong pack when you're heading to the airport. If it's on your packing list and it makes it into your bag when you're packing, you'll always know where to find it. It also reduces the hassle of getting around on public transportation. The high-speed train from the airport can get crowded, and sometimes you have to board quickly to avoid getting stuck on the platform until the next one. And that's going to be a lot harder to do if you have to make sure that your suitcase, day pack, and all of your shopping bags make it on there with you. Pro member Gord says that they find lugging around a bunch of bags to be truly awful, especially when they have to take a subway or train to their accommodations. Overall, you'll feel lighter and freer with just one bag on your back. And now we're coming full circle. Remember all those extra fees that were added on to that bargain flight? When you try one bag travel, you'll save at least some, if not all, of that money. Some carriers still charge you for a carry-on, but if you're a really creative packer, you can fit everything into your personal item bag. I just did this on a flight to Arizona. I flew a budget airline, so I saved a ton on bag fees by getting everything into a 25-liter bag that fit under the seat in front of me. We've got videos covering some of our favorite personal item bags with some tips on how to pack them, and if you're looking to get more into one bag travel, we have even more detailed videos on our channel, so check those out linked down below. Even if you bring a travel backpack and have to pay a carry-on fee, you'll only be paying for one bag instead of two. We find it's better if you're not the last to board though, since overhead bin space can get tight and the airplane might not have room for your bag. Packing in the smallest bag that you can gives you the freedom to sit wherever you want without worrying about that overhead space too. Just be sure to check out the personal item limits of your airline because they're all different, and it's even more expensive if you're asked to check your bag during the boarding process. And just because you bring one bag doesn't mean that's the only thing you can carry that whole trip. I always bring along a packable backpack or a sling for my everyday carry too, because I find it a lot easier to hit the local market, explore museums, and visit pubs and restaurants wearing one of those instead of a bigger backpack. I personally prefer slings because I can wear them with my travel backpack and still be hands-free while I'm in transit. It gives me a more accessible place to store my essentials as I kill time at the airport, and a lot of airlines won't make you stow it during takeoff. And the final reason that you should try one bag travel is a little icing on the cake. You can sleep in a little longer or have one last adventure at your destination if you don't have to wait in line to check your bag with the airline. As neat as airports can be, there's no substitute for the actual feel of a place, and when you try one bag travel, you'll have extra time and money to soak up all the culture. So there are some of the reasons why we think you should try one bag travel in 2024. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments down below, and keep an eye on our channel for more ways to travel smarter. See you next time.